The point of our lesson this morning is Jesus shines his light into a dark world. Is our world dark this morning? Is there so much going on in our world right now that it almost says there's no hope? Is there so much happening right now around about us that really and truly we don't see any way out? Hard for us to see an answer. Hard for us to see a plan. But don't you know this morning, God's got a plan. And the darkness that we see around about us this morning, I believe, is a part of that plan. This morning, as God moves our world closer and closer to the end time scenario that we find recorded in our scriptures, God intervened in man's existence to offer us hope. Now, this morning we have hope. We're going to be looking in the book of Isaiah, and then we're going to be looking in the book of John. And I want to encourage you this morning, darkness is something that's hard to deal with. If you've ever got up as you read the openings of our lesson this morning, the guy talks about the fact that he was getting up and trying to be thoughtful and everything and slams his toe into the dresser leg. If you've ever tried to go through the house without turning a light on so that you don't bother somebody else's rest, you know what it is. And I want to encourage you. That is exactly where a lot of people are in our world today. Difference being, they don't have a light to turn on. You and I have that light. But young'uns, if we don't flip the switch and turn the light on, they're going to continue to stumble around in darkness and never, ever see any difference or any hope. So it's important for us to be that light. That's what the church is supposed to be doing today in our world, is to be a light. To show people the way to what? To Jesus. Folks, it's not our job to correct them. It's not our job to fix them. It's not our job to do all these other things that we so readily get caught up in. Our job is to show them the way to Jesus. Our job is to show them what a blessing it is to live for Jesus. And young'uns, it's a blessing to be a child of the living God. It is a blessing to know that when life on this earth is over, as Papa used to say, sweet heaven will be our home. We need to live in a fashion that points all the world to hope. In this darkness that we're living in, they have no hope. In this darkness that we're existing in, there is no light at the end of the tunnel for so many people, because you and I are that light. And where are we in their tunnel? Are we anywhere around? Or are we off to one side trying not to aggravate, make mad, hurt feelings, or something like that? You know, sometimes we think telling somebody about Jesus just might hurt their feelings. Well, guess what? It might. But wouldn't it be better for their feelings to be hurt now because we love them too much to let them go on in their sin, than for their soul to be tormented throughout eternal ages? Isn't it an act of love to step up and be that witness, even at the danger or fear that they might not like us as much? Or they just might decide they don't want to be around us as much. But young'uns, I'm here to tell you, the book tells me that faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word. If they don't hear the word, are they going to hear the word on their favorite TV program, you reckon? I think the word that they're going to hear on most of their favorite TV program is anything but the word. I want you to know that we today are the only hope that lost people have. The church. But who is the church, or what is the church? The church is individual peoples you and me, and we are that light. But in the 9th chapter of the book of Isaiah, in your quarterly there, it begins to talk about what Isaiah was given in, and this is Old Testament, but folks, this is a prophecy about the coming Lord. It says, nevertheless, the dimness shall not be such as was in her vexation, when at the first he lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterward did more grievously affect her by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, in Galilee of the nations. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shined. Thou hast multiplied the nations, and not increased the joy. They joy before thee according to the joy in harvest, and as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. It says, have seen, which is up here in verse 2, it says, means that the little translation is have seen. Isaiah was prophesying a future time after God had punished and purified his people. Now I want you to know that Israel had gone through a lot of anguish, a lot of pain. Israel had come back from captivity